Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, every now and then you're on a road trip. I was coming back from Idaho, a permitless carry state, by the way, constitutional carry state. So wonderful to cross a state line and not have to worry about anything. And as you're driving along, every now and then you come by a spot. This is Dry Falls, right outside of Ephrata, Washington. And you sit there and you go, wow, that is awesome looking. That would be a great spot to shoot a video. So I pulled over and decided I'm going to shoot a video. Been thinking a lot about permitless carry, constitutional carry. Why? Because I just came from the great state of Idaho, where I actually experienced freedom like I was an American once again. Got me thinking about where we are as a country with constitutional carry and where we could possibly go. And the problem is I don't think there's a lot more that we can do. I'll explain why. So today, from Dry Falls out outside of Ephrata, Washington, let's talk about how constitutional carry has about run its course. You know, I bet you wish you could go and do this every day, but you don't, do you? And I imagine you wish your groups looked a lot like this, but they don't, do they? No, instead they have a tendency to look a little bit more like this. Plus, you might have noticed that this stuff ain't very cheap anymore. Or, just hear me out, you can use your Mantis X10 Elite training system like I do. Listen, this thing is way too easy to use. Step 1, install the Mantis training app to your smartphone. Step 2, install the Mantis X10 Elite training system to your firearm. It's as simple as this. Step 3, open up the training app, select your program, and away you go. Listen, you can practice in the comfort of your own home. This app will store all the data. It will tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. It will tell you what you're improving on and what you need to work on. The best part is, all you need is your firearm and the Mantis X10. You don't need any ammunition, and you don't need any expensive membership to a range or a gun club. And right now, if you want to check this revolutionary system out, all you got to do is click on that link right up there. For more information, visit our good friends at mantisx.com. Okay, here's what we're talking about today. We're talking about constitutional carry. Why? Well, because the state of Louisiana just passed the constitutional carry bill, Senate Bill 1, which will be signed by their governor. Congratulations to the state of Louisiana. That will make Louisiana the 28th state in the nation to have constitutional or permitless carry, or essentially to allow Americans to live how our founding fathers intended. What constitutional carry is that so long as you are otherwise lawfully allowed to possess a firearm, you may carry it in any manner that you so desire, consistent with that state's law. Now, as I mentioned, Louisiana becomes the 28th state, but then it got me thinking, well, how many other states could possibly do this? Because is the People's Republic of Washington going to do it? Oh, God, no. Oregon, no way. California, come on. They don't even let people actually get licenses to carry. And the list goes on and on of some blue states or deeply blue states where the chance of them getting constitutional carry would be about the same chances as me being able to successfully jump to the other side of that lake. Well, the answer is how many other states could possibly do it? Well, there's South Carolina, which appears to be trying to do it, but between their Senate and their House, they absolutely positively cannot get their act together. And then, of course, there's the state of North Carolina, which has supermajority of GOP in both the House and Senate, currently has a Democratic governor, but is being term limited out. So really, when you take a look at the political map in the United States, other than the two Carolinas, there really is no other state where constitutional or permitless carry has a snowball's chance in hell of ever passing. And so mathematically, what it means is best case scenario, we're going to end up with 30 states that are constitutional carry and 20 states that require some type of permitting. Roughly 60% will allow their citizens to live free as our founding fathers intended. Now, many of you say, well, what's the likelihood that the United States Supreme Court could just strike down carry licensing regimes altogether under a Bruin-like analysis? I don't think it's particularly good. I understand that we could really geek out and talk about how there's not a lot of historical analogs for that, but let us also remember that the Supreme Court in New York Pistol and Rifle Association v. Bruin spoke quite favorably of shall permit regimes, okay? In fact, they pretty much endorsed that in the Bruin opinion. So the likelihood that they would now go back, take a second look at especially shall issue regimes, since there is no such thing as a may issue regime anymore, is incredibly unlikely. Let us also remember that unlike 30 years ago, where you might have some Democrats that were still rather pro-2A, or came from districts in which, well, candidly, there was a lot of gun owners. Not so much the case anymore. In fact, really one of the prerequisites to be a candidate in the modern Democratic Party is to be absolutely 110% in favor of all forms of civilian disarmament. So when you consider the political shifts that have gone on in both parties, when you take a look at the political map, bottom line is that the best that the United States is going to achieve in current times as far as constitutional or permitless carry is going to be approximately 60% or 30 states. And that's only if we can get both of the Carolinas on board. Listen, if you get any other questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now. If you don't, that's okay. That information is down there in the description box. And then let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. From beautiful Dry Falls here in Eastern Washington, thanks for watching. Stay safe.